Have a nice day. Today is Tuesday, 14th of February 2023. This day is celebrated as coronation of Akbar as a ruler of the Mughal Empire in 1556. The celebration of Valentine's Day in India began to become a popular following the economic liberalization. Sorry, there have been protests against the celebrations by groups who consider it a Western influence. Almost every year, law and order problems occur on 14th February in many cities in India due to protests. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that virtual court technology is here to stay now and forever, as Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud. The Hindu newspaper also states that Supreme Court seeks a central reply on plea alleging non-election of deputy speaker in Lok Sabha various state assemblies. The Hindu newspaper also states that no objection to Supreme Court setting up panel in Hindenburg Adani case center SEBI. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that Adani Center agrees to panel CBI, says it is probing allegations. The Supreme Court had on the last date of hearing said it was thinking aloud on whether a committee of experts could be put in place to suggest possible improvements to the regulatory mechanism. Adani Corporate House in Ahmedabad, the Adani Group has been accused by United States-based short seller Hindenburg Research of stock manipulation and fraud. Indian Express also states that IIT Bombay suicide condolence meeting held a committee formed to investigate incident. Hostel 16, where the incident occurred Sunday afternoon, houses most first-year students. Students gathered for a candle march late night on Sunday, remembering one of their own. Indian Express also states that Delhi Mayor polls postponed again amid Supreme Court hearing. Elections to the post of Delhi Mayor could not be held on three prior occasions following ruckus in the House as Aam Aadmi Party and BJP members were unable to agree on the question of allowing nominated members to vote. BJP councillors are sloganeering inside the MCD house in Delhi before the elections for posts like the mayor got adjourned. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Syria opens two borders, allows more United Nations aid access from Turkey. A view shows damaged buildings in aftermath of an earthquake in rebel-held town Harim, Syria, February 13, 2023. Hindustan Times also states that in Delhi's Mehrauli, it is a bulldozers versus documents. On Monday, several buildings in the vicinity of Bhul Bhulaiya, one of the monuments in archaeological park, were either razed or damaged. Budget session highlights Rajya Sabha Lok Sabha adjourned to meet again on March 13. The budget session of the parliament began on January 31 with the maiden address of the President Draupadi Murmu. Hindustan Times also states that the parliament first part of the budget session and its aim racks to resume in March. Opposition MPs raised slogans in the well of Rajya Sabha in New Delhi. Going towards the economy of the country, retail inflation rises to 3-month high of the 6.52% in January. Adani Group stocks and lower Adani Enterprises tumbles 7% as Moody's downgrades rating. GE to offer digital solutions for gas turbines for Indian Navy's new IC-1 Vikrant. Reliance seeks $12.75 for a CBM gas. ONGC wants $9.35. Gold ETFs are registered rupees 199 crore outflow in January on profit booking preference for equity funds. Renault Nissan eyes Orgadum production at 80% of capacity. Ashwani Gupta, representative executive officer and CEO of Nissan. Here's a picture of Ashwani Gupta. Going towards the world news, including former monarch join his campaign to reinstate Nepal as Hindu state. Ukraine, for God's sake, inside the struggle of Turkey's earthquake response, ruling out alliance. A senior United States general says, not ruling out anything yet. As hopes fade for quake survivors, people try to salvage what they can. China says United States flew more than 10 high-altitude balloons over Chinese airspace. At last, we conclude with the science and technology. Fish larvae float across national borders, building the world's oceans in a single network. Fish population are declining around the world, and many countries are trying to conserve them by regulating their fishing industries. However, controlling fishing locally may not do enough to strengthen fish population. MediaTek announces Helio G36 SoC for entry-level gaming smartphones. MediaTek announces Helio G36 SoC for entry-level gaming smartphones. Here is the picture. On climate, most corporations are more talk than action. The world's biggest and richest companies are failing to deliver on their climate pledges, according to an in-depth analysis released Monday that calls on governments to crack down on corporate greenwashing. Dubai again plans for flying taxi takeoff, this time by 2016. At last, there's a famous quotation by famous Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was an Indian politician and a statesman who served as the second Prime Minister of the India from 1964 to 1966 and sixth Home Minister of India from 1961 to 1963. Lal Bahadur Shastri states that we believe in peace and peaceful development, not only for ourselves but for people all over the world. Okay, thank you.